Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Well, it's official. The New York Mets may never lose another baseball game in the rest of the history of mankind. They win their sixth straight, taking out the Philadelphia Phillies here, taking the first two of this NL East division battle here, and they, I'm just going to say it, have embarrassed the Phillies over the first two games of this series. What's up, guys? I'm Tony Metro. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave this video a like. I do daily Mets content. Pre-game streams, post-game streams, we do series previews and series recaps and everything in between. You can find all my work on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram as well. So hopefully you'll come along for the ride. But today we are talking about another big Mets W as they defeat the Phillies in game 2 of this series by a final score of 5-1. And I'm not going to pull any punches. The Phillies do not look like a good baseball team. I have not been impressed by anything that I've seen about the Phillies. Now, I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself here and say that the NL East is over, Sal Licata, but I will just say they are a fundamentally poor team when it comes to their fielding, their approach at the plate from what I've seen these two games, and I am not concerned about them. What I am, though, impressed by is how the Mets have looked so far in this showdown with them. So let's get into it. Mets starting things out on the right foot in the first inning, getting on the board once again. Third straight game where the Mets have scored in the first inning, and that was compliments of a Mark Vientos 2-out double. He welcomes himself back into the lineup, bringing Juan Soto around to score here to put the Mets up 1-0. Griffin Canning would give up a run for the Phillies to tie it at 1 apiece, but then later in the bottom of the second, Francisco Lindor immediately answers with an opposite field 2-out single of his own to give the Mets the lead, and they would never look back from there. Pretty quiet, couple lolling innings there until the 7th, where Pete Alonso would hit a 2-out double of his own to bring in another run that would score Francisco Lindor. Remember not even a couple weeks ago, literally last week, we were so concerned about the Mets hitting with runners in scoring position, and 2 outs. And all of a sudden, it seems like that's all they do. They get 3 of their first runs, all with 2 outs here, as you see Pete Alonso sliding into second there with his double. He stays hot in this one, and then Luis Torrens right after him. Instead of Mendoza pinch hitting for him with Brandon Nimmo, he rewards Torrens, who has just been awesome in place of Francisco Alvarez so far early in the year, and he hits a RBI double to cap the scoring as the Mets take a lead late in the innings of this one and beat the Phillies by a final of 5-1. And like I said, I mean, this Phillies team has not impressed me. I'll go into more detail on that. You look at the 7th inning when the Mets got that insurance run on Pete Alonso's RBI double. You see their reliever throwing the ball up the line and into right field. Lindor takes second on that play. That's what ends up scoring him on Pete Alonso's double. It should have been an easy out there for them. You got Kyle Schwarber getting doubled off on a fly ball out to center field that Tyrone Taylor just immediately realized that he had a chance to throw him out at first on. I mean, I have not been impressed by anything that I have seen from the Phillies to this point. And again, not trying to beat my chest here and say the Mets are going to run away with the division. I'm just saying right now, these two teams are going different directions, and I really like the direction the Mets are going. If I was a Phillies fan, I would not be feeling so great about the way they're heading. So we'll see. It's a long 162-game season, but right now the Mets look like a much better team than the Phillies do. And part of that is because of the Mets pitching staff. Another great performance from their starter today. It was Griffin Canning's turn to take the ball and carry the torch for this rotation. He goes out and has another wonderful performance. A little shaky. Couple base runners in the first 2 innings, including that RBI hit from Johan Rojas, but settles in after that. His final line on the evening, he goes, if I can find it here somewhere, here we go, right? 5 innings, 7 hits, but just 1 walk. So you know what? At least that balances out. You usually get 2 or 3 walks in an appearance and 4 hits. So at the end of the day, 8 base runners, strikes out 5, and just the 1 earned run. He lowers his season ERA to 3.12. I mean, how is this even possible? Tyler McGill and Griffin Canning on back-to-back nights when these guys were not even supposed to be in the Mets rotation before the season began. Only because of injuries to Sean Manaea and to Frankie Montas do Tyler McGill and Griffin Canning get the opportunity that they have gotten so far here in the early going, and they have fully seized it. And not only that, they may have seized a permanent spot in this rotation to this point. I mean, how could you take either of these guys out? Now, there's another month before we get Manaea or Montas or potentially both of them back. So lots of things can change, but so far these guys have delivered well beyond, I think, any Mets fans' expectations when we found out that they would be a part of the rotation on opening day. I mean, another great performance from Canning. That's coming off of McGill, who had a great one yesterday, going 6 innings, striking out 10 Phillies. Today, Canning bulldogs his way through 5 innings. I mean, it wasn't the sexiest start, but still neutralized a Phillies lineup that on paper is supposed to still be really good. I mean, I'm not so sure about that, not based on what I've seen these first 2 games of this series, but 5 strikeouts, just 1 earned run. Love that he only had 1 walk. It's the least amount of walks that he's given up in an appearance this year. It hadn't really been a big issue for him. He's given up 2 walks in 2 of his appearances and 3 walks in his other 2 starts. So it hasn't been something that's plaguing him, but obviously the less free passes, the better. Really solid performance from Griffin Canning, again, who lowers his ERA down to 3.12. As somebody that lived a large part of my life in Southern California, I had a very close eye on him while he was with the Angels, and it was always really tough that he never lived up to that top prospect hype. And maybe there's a little bit left in the tank that other teams didn't see, but David Stearns in the pitching lab did, because so far, so good. This dude has been amazing. So love to see that. Sticking with the pitching staff, Oscar Brazoban came in, hadn't seen him in a couple of days. He had a solid 1 inning, gave up a hit, but also had a strikeout to end the inning there. AJ Minter looked fantastic in the 7th inning, a perfect inning there for him with a strikeout. Ryan Stanek was the beneficiary of that heads-up Tyrone Taylor double play to pick off Schwarber at first base. I mean, what is he thinking there? At that point, the score was 5-1. So his run means nothing. They need base runners. It's a clear can of corn fly ball to center field. I don't know what Schwarber is thinking there, but I think the Mets may have broke the Phillies in the NLDS last year. I truly believe it. And not just the team, but the fans too, because their fans hate their own team. I mean, they are cussing them out all over social media, all over the Phillies blogs that I've visited before, just to try to get some insight on the mindset of Phillies fans right now. And they don't like this group of players. That little 2022 where they were all singing in the World Series before they ultimately choked it away, those good vibes are all out the window. I think the Mets officially broke them in the NLDS last year because they just have not looked good against us at all to this point. After that, getting back to the bullpen here, it was Jose Butto who cleaned things up with a 1-2-3 ninth inning. So 4 more innings of scoreless relief for the Mets. Another great performance from a starter in Griffin Canning, and this has been the X's and O's for this team since the jump, since opening day. Great pitching has kept them in games, and now the offense is starting to come around. This is like the Happy Gilmore scene. Ooh, Happy learned how to putt. Yeah, as soon as that happens and it all starts clicking, you got to watch out because this could be a very, very dangerous Mets team. And I know I'm a broken record here. I've harped on it ad nauseum, but we're still not even getting the production that we're expecting to from Juan Soto. Again, another couple of really hard outs for Juan Soto tonight. This luck has to change at some point. The dude is hitting the ball hard all over the field. He's just finding gloves. So hopefully that will change very soon. Jonathan, what's up, man? Glad you're in here. The Mets have become the Phillies' daddy. Yeah, I can't agree any more than that's the most true statement I've ever heard. And growing up in the 2007-2009 era of the Mets and Phillies rivalry, I cannot tell you that I'm shedding a single tear for anybody in the city of Philadelphia right now, because that was a torturous way to go through my 7th grade through ninth grade years. So anyway, Let's get to the offense now. Again, the Mets taking this one 5-1. The first two games of the series over the Phillies and now have a 5-game lead over them in the National League East. The Mets are 17-7, 10 games over 500. Pending the outcome of San Diego and the Dodgers games tonight, they could be standing alone with the top record in all of baseball by the end of the scores tonight. Thanks for hopping in the stream, guys. Appreciate it. Leave me some questions, some thoughts. What did you guys think of this game? Who's your MVP of this game? For me, it's tough because they got contributions from basically everybody on offense. No one player had multiple RBIs tonight. It was Pete Alonso. It was Mark Vientos. It was Francisco Lindor. It was Luis Torrens. Everybody contributed a little bit on offense, speaking of which, let's get to that. Lindor, another 3-hit game, the RBI. Juan Soto, 0 for 4 and another tough 0 for 4. I mean, this dude is hitting the ball hard, just right into mitts, so that's tough. Pete Alonso, another 2-hit game, including his RBI double. 349 average for Pete. Say it with me. MVP. It's happening. 349 average, 1150 OPS. Those are still tops in the majors. Mark Vientos returning to the lineup with a base knock in 3 at-bats. Also drew a walk. He had the RBI, of course, on his double, as we know. Starling Marte over 2, but did draw a walk in the first inning. That was great to see. Jesse Winker with a pinch hit. He did not do anything. He drew a walk, but doesn't go down in the box score necessarily. And then Luis Torrens. Awesome to see what Luis Torrens has done so far. So cool. Carlos Mendoza rewarded him, letting him stay in there in that at-bat with 2 outs in the 7th rather than opting for Brandon Nimmo. And they even asked him about that on the field after. Steve Gelbs basically said, what does that mean to you? And he expressed a lot of gratitude for it. This dude has cemented himself in a role with the Mets. I fully expect, even when Francisco Alvarez returns, that they are going to be splitting playing time. I'd still say probably 70-30 Alvarez when he's fully up to speed, but that could also change. If Alvarez doesn't come back and start right up and running, there's a good chance that they're going to keep rolling with Luis Torrens because the vibes are high right now in Queens. Ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I'm saying. Jonathan, my MVP is Mendy. He did a thing I disapproved, but I was wrong. What's that thing that you disapproved about, Jonathan? What did Mendoza do that you didn't like? We don't talk about Mendoza enough. What a great manager this guy's been. Last year they get off to the start where they're 11 games under 500, and we're all thinking like, oh boy, here we go again. A miracle run where he really righted that ship, kept the same mentality day in, day out, and the Mets turned around. Obviously, we know about the run last year, but even from an X's and O's standpoint and from, how he handles the bullpen, there's very few decisions that I disagree with that Mendoza makes. That is hard to say in this day and age in baseball. No Mickey Callaway, that is for sure. No Luis Rojas, the calculator guy, none of that. Mendoza has been awesome. We pilfered him from the Yankees. I think a lot of Yankee fans, if they truly watch the Mets closely, would opt to have Carlos Mendoza as their manager over Aaron Boone. That's just what I've heard, though. I don't know. I could be wrong. Jonathan, you didn't like that he hit Torrens instead of pinch hitting for him, and then with pulling Canning. Yeah, Torrens has been hot. Not over the last couple of games here, but obviously to start the season. So, you know what? I'm kind of glad Nimmo just got a full day rest here, even if it was only going to be 1 at-bat. His head doesn't seem to be in the right space either at the plate right now. So I'm glad that Nimmo didn't even have to worry about it. And, of course, Nimmo being who he is, the best teammate on the team, cheering from the top of the dugout on top of the railing after Torrens got that hit anyway. So just the vibes and the chemistry of this team. We were all a little concerned when Jose Iglesias wasn't re-signed. Like, are the vibes going to be the same in 2025 as they were in 24? Winning solves everything, but they look like a pretty close-knit bunch. So really love seeing that. To finish out the rest of the lineup, Luis Angel Acuna took an 0-for in 3 at-bats. Same with Tyrone Taylor. Jose Azocar actually had 2 base hits in this one. So, hey, good for him. Don't think he'll be here too much longer. It sounds like Jeff McNeil is probably going to be coming up again pretty soon. We heard from Mendoza earlier, if you watched my live stream, that the Mets are playing him in center field quite often. And I personally believe that both Acuna and Luis Angel Acuna are safe here did I say both of them? Beatty and Luis Angel Acuna are both safe on the big league roster, even when Jeff McNeil comes back. I think they're going to keep Tyrone Taylor getting the majority of reps in center field while Jose Siri recovers from that broken tibia. But Jeff McNeil and maybe even Luis Angel Acuna will get some opportunities to play center field as well. So I don't think Brett Beatty will go down. I think it will be Jose Azocar. But good for him for getting 2 knocks today. Credit to him for that. So overall, I mean, just what an awesome win for the Mets. What an awesome homestand. 6-0, the 4-game sweep of the Cardinals. Then they welcome in the Phillies. Go up 5-0 yesterday. They hold on, and then today to come out and basically slap them around. And let's be honest, the Phillies kind of embarrassed themselves. We don't have to be the ones to do that because they just throw the ball all over the field. They don't really take a great approach, if any approach at all, at the plate. But the Mets have shown clearly at this point in the season right now, they're the far superior team to the Phillies. We showed that to them in the NLDS last year. So I'm super hyped about it. I'm sure you guys are too. Let me know in the comment section over here, what is your favorite part of these first 2 games with the Phillies? For me, personally, I think it's just been the spreading of wealth for the entire offense. Everybody's kind of getting in on it. We know Lindor had 3 hits and the 2 homers yesterday. We know he had 3 more hits today, but seeing Alonso get in on the action today, seeing Jesse Winker with his homer yesterday, Luis Torrens today, Mark Vientos returning to the lineup with an RBI base knock. For me personally, that's what I'm so happy about. It's not just a top-heavy 1, 2, 3 of Lindor, Soto, Alonso that have to carry this team, but 1 through 9, this lineup looks like they're all coming together and hitting their strides. So the Mets, 10 games over 500, 17-7. 5-game lead in the National League East. How you feeling, Mets fans? Let me know in the comment section over here to my right. And if you guys are not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Leave this video a like and turn channel notifications on so you know when I'm posting next. Tomorrow we'll be doing a pregame stream for the afternoon game where the Mets are looking to cap a perfect 7-game homestand to finish the sweep of the Phillies and put up a 6-game lead on them in just the 3rd week of April. I mean, you couldn't write a better script, at least for the first month of the season. We still got a long way to go. But hey, keep stacking those series W's. If you can get the sweep, even better. And that's what the Mets will be looking to do tomorrow. So that's going to do it for right now. I appreciate you guys hopping in on the stream, and we'll chat with you guys tomorrow. Until then, I'm Tony Metro. Stay true to the orange and blue.